I feel like, here at Working Title, since we Baltimore based, we kind of a little bit more tapped in on what you're doing as opposed to the national
Right.
media. So let's take it way back, right? You LND, Shag Gang, all that shit.
Right.
A lot of rappers from that area.
Right.
Right. When you first started rapping, was it something you picked up from like the big homies, or was it just
No,
something where you was just?
it was all my homeboys was rapping, so I never really pictured me rapping for real. I was just behind them.
Mm-hmm.
But how I started rapping for real, my uncle had a studio. But when I was young, I always wanted to be a rapper, but I felt like I ain't had nothing to talk about. You feel me? So then when I got in the streets, and I just was so much into music at one point in time, and that was like, shit, fuck it, I'm ready to just go in the studio, and I was in the studio all day, every day. And I ended up started recording myself. And that's how I really got good at it, because I was recording myself every day, just practicing for real.
So when you first hopped in the studio, was this something that you thought was it like kind of like a for fun thing, or was it
It
like
was
I'm ready to actually take this serious?
No, it wasn't even like that. It was like some shit like, Snapchat was real heavy right there and there. So I was like, man,
Oh, you mean
I would just
okay.
get on Snapchat and record myself listening to my own songs instead of recording myself listening to another nigga song. You feel me? I was just on some shit like that. Like, this shit for me. I ain't really doing it for everybody. Then I dropped my first video. My whole hood was behind it for real. But I ain't know I was like really like that until like my third video. Then I started feeling that shit. Like at first two videos I wouldn't even think about it. I was just doing that shit.
Doing it for fun.
Yeah.
Right. What was the third video?
Mayweather.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mayweather.
We remember that one.
Yeah.
Would you say that Mayweather is kind of like where you was like,
Yeah, I knew I had it because I was freestyling. I was recording myself for real, so I knew I had it with Mayweather.
Right.
My whole hood was just like, man, keep going. And my homeboy, he had like 2 weeks before after I made that song for real, he listened to the song every day. Like 3 weeks, he died for real. He was like, man, before he died, he was telling me like, yeah, if you want to do anything, just keep rapping. Like, you feel me? Like, trapping, that shit really ain't gonna get a nigga nowhere. He like, man, just keep rapping, keep rapping. And when he died, like I stopped trapping and all that just to be in the studio every day. Cause that's all my mind was on.
So it was a big inspiration behind getting behind the rap shit.
Yeah, hell yeah. I just after he died, I was in the studio for like 4 months straight, like just nothing else but the studio. Just living in the studio.
Just recording. So then you go on, right? You start dropping tapes. I mean, I know we had, Sorry for the Wait, Now or Never.
Yeah.
All that type of stuff. So that was like your first like real like time being put on, right?
Yeah. All them tapes I recorded myself. Like Sorry for the Wait, I recorded myself. All that shit.
Yeah, it's all on your own type of time. So when you dropping those tapes, right, and you kind of starting to pick it up, are you one of those people? Because every artist kind of different for real. So it's like, is it one of those things where you dropping those? Were you content with where those was at? Was it a stepping stone for you, or was you like, yo, I gotta keep working, gotta keep getting better?
I gotta keep working because by the time I drop a tape, I already be on the next tape. You feel me? Because like that's how fast I make music. I make 3 songs like every time I go to the studio, so I be getting on other shit quick. So I just be putting that shit out and really like. I know I ain't big enough. I feel like I should be already, but it's growing, so I ain't tripping.
A lot of trial and error.
Yeah, because I done went to, my first video, I remember did 10,000 in 1 month. Now my videos do 10,000 in 1 day, you feel me? So it's like, that shit just progress.
Are you, so, you kind of talk about how, you keep working. Was there ever a point in time where you was like, yo, I don't know if this is for me? Because I know every artist kind of go through that trial and error. Was there ever like a real...
Shit. You go through that shit all the time. That's why I named the tape Fuck Rap, because it was like most of the problems in my life was coming from rap, from fame and all that shit. So I was like, man, if I would never rap in this shit, I wouldn't even have to go through all this shit for real. But when I went to jail, like the first 2-3 weeks when I went to jail, I wasn't even rapping. I was like, man, shit, I might have to sit down and do some time. If I gotta sit down for 3 years, you feel me? I ain't gonna be rapping no more. Like, fuck that shit. You feel me?
When you was locked up, was that like when you was finally finished? Was you like, oh yeah, I got tap the fuck back in? Like I don't got time to.
Yeah, when I was locked up, because I was really freestyling all my songs. So when I was locked up, I had the time. Everybody in there was telling me like, just start writing for real. And then by writing that shit, make my days go past fast. I write a song and just be chilling all day. And then I just fell more back in love to it and really came in like and really figured out what the fuck I really want to do with it.
Was there anything you wrote when you was locked up that you ended up using when you got out?
Never enough. That's why I feel like that's the song I really made it off of, because it's like I had to go through that. If I wouldn't have never went through that and made Never Enough, I probably would have never got signed.
It's funny because
so
I got a whole...
It was a good thing and it was a bad thing like at the same time.
It's funny you bring all that up because I got a whole segment on that, bro. So
yeah, that's why I be like so crazy about that song, because it's like, real shit. I
Hell
had to go through some shit to make that song, and then I got signed off of it.
Right. So that's kind of a good segue. So you drop all your tapes, lie trial in there, get locked up, come back. Fuck Rap kind of seemed like I think everybody in the city knew you was tough, one of the best in the city. But it felt like Fuck Rap to me was kind of like where your traction started to build a little bit.
Yeah, it started going up. It was like I don't know. It seemed like every time I drop, it's always new. It's new to me. Like you feel me? Like it's the beginning of something new for real. Like Fuck Rap, that was another stepping stone for real for me.
Do you feel like what I said is kind of on par though? Do you feel like that's where the traction started to pick up?
Yeah.
That's just because I'm just going from the cheap seats.
It started going up after that, but I knew I had to get some money for real because it's like, like I know your talent only gonna get you but so far, but the money gonna bring the attention. You feel me?
Right. Okay. So you dropped Fuck Rap right in the middle of COVID, really, like right when COVID started coming, started to hit. Did COVID have any influence on that tape at all, or was it all ready to go and it just dropped during COVID?
Nah, it was already done for real. Cause I wrote most of the whole tape in jail for real, so it was already done.
Okay.
And yeah, that shit. I felt that at that time, like Fuck Rap 2.0. I really felt it, like man, this gonna be the one to get me on.
Mm-hmm. So as Fuck Raps kind of started to pick up a little bit of traction, specifically with Never Enough, was you like, yeah, I gotta capitalize right here?
Yeah, hell yeah. Like Never Enough, that's one of them songs I knew, like man, I knew this gonna get me far.
So you, I mean, to cut you off. Did you think when you was writing that this was the